Ever wondered why families build altars on Dia de los Muertos? Hola amigos, hello friends. Every year from October 27th to November 2nd, Mexico lights up for Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. It's not Halloween. It's a joyful reunion. Families honor and remember loved ones, believing spirits return for a brief visit. We welcome them with an ofrenda, Spanish for offering, an altar where every item has meaning to welcome, nourish, and celebrate the returning souls. Today, we'll build one and reveal each piece's story. October 27th marks the quiet beginning of Dia de los Muertos, a moment to remember the pets we've loved and lost, the ones who have shown us true unconditional love. We're adding their ashes and paw prints, some food and treats, and a painting that I made of Chelsea as a Katrina. On October 28th in Cozumel, life, memory, and love is celebrated through Almas con Tradición. A candle lighting ceremony in the cemetery guides visiting souls, and the glow of the flames is a reminder that love never fades. The celebration is a fusion of traditional Maya dances and Catholic faith. After the candle lighting ceremony in the cemetery, a parade or procession of souls walks to the Benito Juarez Park. Our gratitude to Cindy of Flip Tours and the municipal government of Cozumel for giving extranjeros this special opportunity to learn and take part in these local traditions. We were treated to altars built in the park on October 30th. We hope you're enjoying our overview of Dia de los Muertos so far. Your support means the world to us and helps us to continue sharing our love of our adopted country, Mexico. If you're called to do so, share this video, like and comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell. We have a playlist of magical towns that just may help you plan your next adventure. Ready to build an ofrenda? Let's go. Ofrendas can have a different number of levels, and each one has its own meaning. The most traditional altars, though, have 7 levels. These 7 tiers represent the 7 steps it takes to travel to reach Mictlan, the final resting place in Aztec mythology. Today we're building a 3-level ofrenda using things that we have. Our underworld is a bench, our earth is our bay window, and our heaven is a cardboard box. So we're going to start out by adding the black covering, which represents mourning. However, this is a celebration, so we're also adding these colorful tablecloths. And of course, we've got the paw for our pets. And you'll sometimes see an arch symbolizing the portal, the entryway for the spirits to pass from their world to ours. At the heart of every ofrenda are the 4 symbols of nature: earth, water, fire, and wind. These elements aren't just symbolic. They're the toolkit for the traveling souls. Let's start with earth. The earth gives us life, and on the altar, we represent life with pan de muerto. This is the most important piece of our altar. This is no ordinary sweetbread. The shape is pure symbolism. The round loaf represents the circle of life and death. The pieces on top represent bones. The little balls mean skulls, and some say teardrops. When we place this on the altar, we are providing nourishment to the traveling souls. So we also add seasonal fruits and nuts, celebrating the bounty of the earth. Next, water. The journey from the land of the dead is long and thirsty work. Now for wind. How do you represent something you can't even see? With papel picado. These are vibrant, intricately cut pieces of paper or plastic. The name literally means perforated paper. When we string them up, their delicate movement tells us the spirits have arrived. Finally, we have fire. Now, fire is represented by candles or velas in Espanol. For every soul being remembered, a candle is lit to help guide them home. Some traditions even place 4 candles at the top to represent the 4 cardinal directions, making sure a soul can find its way no matter where it's coming from. With the 4 elements in place, we now need to create the path that connects the cemetery to our home. This is where the most iconic symbol of Dia de los Muertos comes in, cempasúchil, marigold, the Mexican marigold. This isn't just any pretty flower. The Aztecs believe its brilliant golden orange color held the light of the sun, which is why it's known as flower of the dead. So we place them all over the altar, creating beautiful bursts of color. But more importantly, we pluck the petals and create a path on the floor, leading from the front door right to the ofrenda. It's believed the flower's powerful scent and vibrant color create a spiritual pathway that souls can follow to find their way home. Alongside the marigolds, we add another crucial element, salt. We place a small dish, or sometimes in the shape of a cross, on the altar. Salt is a purifier. In this tradition, it's believed to cleanse the souls, making sure their bodies won't be corrupted on their journey so they can return safely next year. The Maya believe the hummingbird is a messenger between the world of the living and the spirits, and if you see one approach, it's a loved one coming to visit. The Purepecha and Aztecs believe the monarch butterflies symbolize the returning souls of the deceased visiting their loved ones. Their annual migration to Mexico coincides with holiday, leading indigenous and other cultures to believe these butterflies are the spirits of our ancestors and departed loved ones coming to visit. And to further cleanse the space, we light copal incense. The smoke from this tree resin, used in ancient rituals, wafts through the air, clearing out bad spirits and carrying our prayers up to the heavens. All right, our spirits have arrived. It's time to celebrate them. This is where the ofrenda gets really personal. We'll start with the most famous greeters of all, the calaveras, or skulls. Specifically, sugar skulls. These are brightly decorated skulls made from sugar or chocolate. Far from being morbid, they represent the sweetness of life and are a playful nod to mortality. We often write the name of a loved one on the forehead and place it on the altar as a tribute. It's a way of saying, we remember you, we celebrate you, and we are not afraid of death because it's a natural part of life. Next, and most importantly, we add the photographs of the people we're honoring. The photo is the heart of the ofrenda. It's who the whole thing is for. They say that without a photo, a soul might not find the right altar and won't be able to cross over. Once they're here, it's time for a feast. We fill the altar with their favorite foods and drinks. If a loved one enjoyed a tequila, pour a glass for him or her. Marty's mom made the best mole, so a small dish is prepared. You'll see everything from bottles of Coke and stacks of tortillas to cigarettes and candy. These offerings aren't for us. The belief is that the spirits consume the essence, the aroma, the memory of the food, which gives them the strength to make the journey back. Every ofrenda tells a story. This one honors my mama and papa and Marty's parents. My mama enjoyed an occasional glass of wine, so we're going to add this beautiful bottle, and these are charms from my grandfather's sports days and his U.S. Army pin. So we'll add these, and this pin is a picture taken of my papa in uniform with mama when they were young. Marty's father enjoyed a beer, so we'll add this one here for him, and some mole. We hope you like it, Mom. By adding these personal items, the ofrenda transforms. It's no longer a collection of symbols. It's a living portrait of a life. It's a tangible expression of love. This is what it's all about. Not just remembering that someone existed, but remembering who they were in all the beautiful small details. The altar is almost complete. There's just one final touch. We have to light the candles. As I light each one, the altar comes to life. The flickering flames cast this warm golden glow on the marigolds, the sugar skulls, the smiling faces of our loved ones. The whole space transforms from a static display into a living, breathing beacon of love. This is the moment the ofrenda is officially open, ready to welcome its honored guests. It's a bridge built of light, scent, and memory. Dia de los Muertos teaches us that people we love never really leave. Not as long as we keep their stories alive. And that's something people all over the world can understand. What favorite food would you place on an altar for someone you miss? Share your stories in the comments below. It's a beautiful way for all of us to connect through memories we cherish. If you found this journey meaningful, please subscribe for more stories that connect us to culture and to each other. Thank you for building this with us. Adios, amigos. Goodbye, friends. Y viaja con magia.